to His Grocery Science, and welcome to this next 45 minutes of crafting, live crafting here on with His Grocery Science. And I hope that you guys are having a wonderful Monday. Today is June the 16th, and I hope you guys can come and join us live during this hour of crafting. Forgive me for bouncing the camera, you guys. I'm trying to make sure that you guys get a really good view. Right. Today I'm going to be, as I said, Carlene, thank you so much for joining. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Just it's being hot. It's being hot in Florida. So what can I tell you? So I got this little jewelry box. It's a glass jewelry box, and it has a mirror inside, and I got it. Hi Sage, our friend Sage from Charmed by Sage. She's in the house. Let's make sure we say hello to her. So I got this little box, you all, for $5 right here, and I'm sorry that it's showing a little bit backwards. So it's gonna be $5. I got it from a Dollar Tree, and then I'm also going to be using today some clay, so which is from the brand Das and DAS, and this is an air dry clay. Very easy to get, very easy to work with, very malleable, would that be the word? Moldable, I guess. And that will be what we're going to. Friend says, hello, sweet friend. Hope you are doing well. I am. Other than being hot and a little older, I'm doing well. Thank goodness. All right, so we are going to get the show on the road. I'm going to get my little spatula here, and we're going to be cutting a piece of this clay. Here we go. This clay has we already used it for other things, so I'm gonna go ahead and get me a little fresh one here, a fresh piece of clay. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that, and I put it right here. So today, Monday, we've just been getting all of this rain, you all, and I know we're not the only one. Talking about rain and people in West Virginia, I was just looking at some of the images on the devastation there, on the floods. It breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart to do that. All right, so I got me this piece of clay, and this is the only thing I don't like about using a paper towel, that is always flying away, because I have the fan over here. Make sure that I got that. All right, hello. Just said Dr. Ramdom. Thank you for being here, Dr. Ramdom. Hello. Thank you for being here. Let me know where you guys are watching from. I hope you guys are here in the States. And Andrew Play. Sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna have my clay. This is an air dry clay. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to be making small little balls with this clay. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just be cutting it into more or less the pieces that I'm going to be needing. Now, each one of these little balls, thank you for the thumbs up, you guys. Don't forget to please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, please, before you leave, so that way I could be able to keep up that algorithm on YouTube and also here on Facebook. So I have all of these little pieces here that we're going to be rolling them up, and we have. Thank you so much for subscribing and liking. That was really sweet. Say hi. I see Reese. Thank you so much for being here and welcome. How are you? I am doing well. Thank you for asking. Just very hot because we're in Florida. And it's very hot. Kelly, thank you so much for being so sweet to Sage. Hi, Cheryl, sweet friend. All right, so I am rolling every single one of these. Now, I'm going to have about 6 would be a good one of that size. I'm going to be getting the other ones a little bit smaller than what we have right now. Let's see. Oh, Jessie, thank you so much for being so sweet. You know, sometimes the YouTube community gets a little bad rap, thinking that, you know, sometimes we get some mean messages, but you all are very sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and create just 6 smaller little balls than the ones previously created. This is air dry clay. Just purchased at you could purchase at Michael's. You could purchase at, I think, let's see, Walmart might have it. I've never bought it in Walmart, to be honest with you. Now, air dry clay, as the name goes, it dries with air. So we're gonna keep it inside here. And there inside here, I have a moist, used to be moist, paper. And I'll moisten it again. And I'm going to put it back in there. And that's going to help me to keep that, kind of moist as I work. All right, so I'm going to do this. And the first thing that I'm going to do, oops, I forgot one thing. I need to get one of the pieces, larger pieces. In this one, we're probably going to get a bigger chunk. So I'm going to probably take 3 of those little squares that I created. And I'm going to make with this a ball. And I'm going to flatten it. I'm going to flatten it. Hello, hello, Kyle. How are you? Thank you for watching. I'm handcrafting here. So this is about the size, which is about 2 inches, more or less. But I do want it to be a little thicker. See, so thicker. And now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and start making. I'm going to make little crevices and kind of just crisscross and kind of cut a little bit into it. Just like that. What I'm creating is a little bit of a texture that is going to allow the clay or the pieces that I'm going to be adding into that to kind of adhere. So if it's too smooth, it's not really going to do anything. It's not going to glue it together. So by adding a little bit of, you see all of that texture there, and just crisscrossing, this is not going to be seen. It's just going to be kind of like the area that I'm going to be gluing my stuff into. I have here a little bit of glue. And here it is. I have, oh, oh, you're so sweet. That's really sweet of you. Thank you for your sweet comment. You're all full of sweet comments here on your Facebook today. Thank you so much. And subscribing. Do we get a couple? Can we get a couple more? Can you guys get me to 270 followers tonight? Tonight. Can we get me 270 followers? Let's see. All right, so we have, I'm going to put that on there, right on the top, you guys. And this is where my petals. Hi, Deb. How are you? Facebook here. Thank you so much for being here. And now, on top of that, what I'm going to add, I kind of got it a little bit moist. And now I'm going to be adding a little bit of glue. Now, this is carpenter's glue, wood glue. And the reason why we like using wood glue with clay is because it's less moist. It doesn't have as much water as the regular school glue will have, you guys. So it doesn't have as much water. So it's perfect for this kind of clay project. So I'm just making sure that this glue is positioned on there, because on top of this we're going to be adding our petals. Now I'm trying to see how big this is going to be. I'm going to move it to the side. Okay. And I'm going to start with my bigger balls, the bigger balls that I have. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to start flattening them, just like that. So it's just a circle. Okay. And as I flatten it, I also want it to kind of look like a little cup. Okay. There it is. And I'm going to make one side a little thinner than the other. And that same side, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to create small little lines, and that's going to kind of act like a Velcro, kind of like create that texture that is going to act like a Velcro. Now the other thing that I'm going to do, which I have here, is that I'm going to take whatever kind of gets you to be able to have, and this is getting, because of the fans that I have around, they're getting a little bit dry, so I'm going to make sure that I wet them. So I'm going to make sure that I am creating some type of let's say lines, little crevices, not crevices, but just kind of like make it a little bit of texture. These are going to be our petals, you guys. And as I do that, I'm also going to be just manually with just my fingers, as you could see here, I'm just folding it back. These are going to be my very first petals, okay? And I'm going to come and pinch it, and I'm going to put it right on there. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put it on top of here, as I said. I didn't want to, but I think I am, because I need to see how far in I need to put it, because otherwise I'm going to be creating a flower maybe a little bit too big for this area. Now, I'm going to take some book pages. Thank you for all those hearts, you guys. Thank you for being so sweet and kind. Let's see, Rekha, thank you so much for being here. Oh, thank you. God bless you, honey. Okay, so I'm going to just fold up a little piece of paper, and I'm going to put it on the bottom there. This paper is going to kind of act like a little bit of, can I say, a spring in a way to kind of help my flower petals stand out or hold them up. Okay, going to come back over here. Remember, I'm gonna see if I wet gonna go ahead and keep my petals, so my little balls kind of wet by just, I'm wetting a little bit of paper towel and just laying them on top. That's all I'm doing. I'm gonna lay them on top there. That way the fan doesn't go ahead and dry them out. Okay, so let's see. Kyle, I believe I did say hi to you, right? You are so sweet. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. Remember, we're going to just go ahead and squeeze with our hand. You know, it reminds me of I am from Colombia, and I'm making arepas, which is those corn dough, corn dough. They're flat, and you kind of start doing the arepas like that, kind of like the same way that you will make a tortilla. So I'm going to go ahead and use, here we go, just making our little lines. As your clay dries out, guys, these lines will remain there. And I am going to now pinch them back. And remember, all I'm trying to do is to create a little flower. Now, these flower petals will be overlapping. So I'm going to put one on top of the other, just like so. And I'm going to use my papers. I'm going to go ahead and fold another one here. Oh, I hear a storm. It's lots of thundering going over here. Did you know that Tampa, where I am, it's the thunder capital of the world? Did you know that? Yeah, it is. And that's where I am. And it's lots of thunders and lightning outside. So let's get another one of those big balls. And can you start seeing a little bit here? I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and the same thing is gonna happen. I'm gonna be opening up my petal. And as you open it up, you guys, just start rolling it and rolling it. Hi, Rennie. How are you? Rennie Stevens. Hello, hello, dear. Happy Monday to you. Did I say today is Monday the 16th? June 16th, you guys. And in crafting world, I don't know if you have noticed, but we have everybody's already starting to do like Christmas in July is already coming out. And not just Christmas in July, I'm seeing a lot of fall projects. So here it is. I'm going to go ahead and just get my papers, and my paper is going to just help me. The petals will not attach to the paper, so it is a good, and you can kind of put your paper whichever way you want. Okay, so here it is. You're starting to see our petals. So that's 3 petals. Let's go for the next one. Getting another one here, and this is really helping to kind of keep my petals wet. Not wet, but moist. This will be so beautiful, says Deborah. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. It will really make a sweet gift, right? And let's see, Michelle. Hello, Michelle. Where are you watching from tonight? Let's see. Oh, look, we have trophies and lots of emojis here. You guys are the sweetest. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and continue making our new petal, and kind of like making us again. Look at the little dough flatjack, I guess. I'm so going to move it back. I'm going to take my little tool here and just kind of making our lines. See those lines like that? See those lines? And thank you for the hearts. Keep them going. Don't forget, you all, before you leave, do leave me a little thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to get my other little paper here. And this is just an old book, you all. I'm gonna tell you what this book is about. You probably won't miss it. It's from Fidel Castro. Remember Fidel? Yeah. It's I got it from the library for 50 cents. I'm like, I don't think anybody's gonna miss this book. So here it is. Let me lower this one. Let me lower this paper a little bit more. And here comes my next one. See how it is? How is it going? See how you guys are going? Should I bring you up a little bit, a little close? Texas! You all have been having a really incredible weather here in Texas lately. I'm getting like a little bit of everything lately. All right, here comes my next one. So I have 4 so far. Let's move to the next. I'm just getting the wood glue off my fingers because I don't want to transfer that to my petal as I'm flattening it out. Okay, this one cracked. I'm not sure if you could see it on there. It cracked. So I'm gonna roll it again. You doing some laundry there, Ronnie? Rennie? Oh, well, I'm glad. I'm glad we're giving you something to be inspired by as you are doing your laundry. So it reminds me that I have a lot of clothes to fold. You know, we're doing laundry yesterday and none of it got folded. None of it. Kyle, you are the gonna give you a little medal for just the incredible emojis that you keep sending my way. Thank you, thank you. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bring the other one up. As I'm gluing my petals one into the other. Now it seems like 5 may be enough. I thought I was getting ready for 6, but it looks like 5 should be just enough. Okay, so here is my flower right at there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I had a little brush here. Hold on a second. Let me get my stuff. Did it go? There you go. He went under there. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to kind of moisten this a little bit. And I'm going to come and I'm going to smooth it out or making more lines. And this is a synthetic brush. Here's a synthetic brush. So it's going to give me more of that texture. At the same time, it's going to help me to kind of smooth out or kind of press in the flowers, the base, exactly, especially at the base. So my finger will be way too thick for this. And always make sure to smooth it out, that your clay still moist. Otherwise, all you're going to do is a lot of cracking. You will be cracking your petals. So I'm going to do that and just making sure that kind of like one is kind of marrying the next one, right? And they all being glued together. It presses them down and there. Okay, so now everything is positioned in the middle. See that? Now the papers. Hi Vicky, sweet girl, how are you? Oh, I am. I'm right outside of Tampa, actually in Riverview. So now I'm going to be coming and getting my smaller petals, which are, I'm going to go ahead and pick the little smaller balls that I have set on here. And I'm going to cover them up with my wet napkin here. And I'm going to come back and we're going to be making the petals right on top of that. But I'm also going to, in addition to that, I'm going to be making what's going to be the center of my flower. So for the center of the flower, I'm going to be getting the bigger ball of clay that I have here. Okay, and did I not bring it? Did I not bring it? Did I not bring it? I did not bring it with me. I did not bring it with me. Oh, I'm going to get a little something that is going to help us a lot. So I have this little mesh bag. I'm gonna go ahead and get it. Here's my little mesh bag here. Just gonna go get a colander, but my little mesh bag will do. I'm going to press my clay right into that mesh bag. And as I'm doing it, I'm pressing it down, just making sure that I'm making I'm getting all of the indents or the markings of that bag. So pop a little bit. There it is. So I'm sure you could see all of that. I'm sure you could see all of that little textures in there. Okay, now that I did that, I'm going to open it very gently. And I'm going to get my little ball of clay. And it should have all of that little markings. Can you see the markings there? Can you see them, guys? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just leave it right there on the side. This is going to be the center of my flower. So I'm gonna leave it there. It's gonna be drying as we're doing it. Now I'm going to come back over here again. Gonna get my little ball. Gonna moist my fingers. If you have some cream, it will also help you to keep your fingers moist. I'm going to go ahead and would glue my fingers, trying to get it off. And now we're going to be making the same kind of petals. These petals will be a little bit smaller and a little bit longer. Hi, Jackie Carbone, how are you? For Wacky Jackie's DIYs, thank you for sharing me out. That's really sweet, thank you. I'm going to now come back with my synthetic brush. And my synthetic brush is I'm just going to go ahead and smooth it out. And I do need some type of, something that is going to help me to make some type of lines. These are my petals, and these we're going to treat them really nicely. These are the petals that will be seen the most. Now I'm going to pinch them right here in the center. Right there in the center. At the same time, I'm kind of curling it in like a cup and then folding it out. So kind of just like this, kind of like a lounging chair. I'm going to come back here to the center of my flower. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and start marking. I'm going to create those little markings just to kind of make that Velcro effect, basically. In the center, that's where we're going to be adding this. And then at the same time, I'm going to add my wood glue. I'm going to be adding my petal, and I'm going to come back and really quickly get my piece of paper. And my paper is going to, again, keep my petals lifted. And it's a very inexpensive way. Wow, the thunders are getting really, really loud. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep them here, and look at that. It helps me to kind of make the same loop on the back, kind of like a curvy back to my petal. And there. Okay. This is going to, oh, I think one of them just dropped, so I'm gonna position it once again. And I'm going to make sure, I'm gonna check my time, because in about 15 minutes, Deborah from Laugh Love Crafting will be up next, inspiring you with the next crafting project for tonight. Just positioning my papers, guys. All right, that looks good. Just making sure my papers are holding everything together. All right, so I'm going to get my papers ready for the next one. Get my next little ball of clay. And again, do this right over here. Thank you for those that are still here. I see Kyle. Bye, Kyle. No worries. Thank you so much. You gave me a really fun time here. Thank you so much for the encouraging words, dear. And thank you for all of us. We have 5 more friends that have just joined here on Facebook, on YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and get that. And again, I'm going to go ahead and bring my lines, because this is going to be another beautiful petal that we're making. I'm going to pinch my middle here, and by pinching my middle is going to give me the curving that I need. I'm going to get my little ball, position it here. At the same time, I'm going to be pressing down in the center. Okay. Going to add a little bit of hot wood glue on the side here of that petal. And, oh, there we go. I'm going to come and get another one of these little balls. I have a little bit of paint here. Actually, I was thinking of which one to use. I have a white one. And the reason why I wanted white, I just love the look of the white flower with the gold. This one is already glass and gold. And so I wanted to, we're going to be watering down the paint to be able to get to all of the little crevices here. And then we're going to be just giving it a little tiny bit of gold edges here to each one of my petals. This one, I almost went a little bit too deep with my tool here. So it's just, I don't know, it's a clean look. I do like, kind of like, basically it's your flower. You're going to be making it whichever way you like. I just thought that being that it's on glass, I prefer it to be a little bit more of that, kind of like a, keep that elegant look that it already has. So I'm going to come back with my little ball of paper to hold things up as they glue and dry. There. And I got my probably 2 more to do, and then we should be adding this center. Gonna be moistening my hands. I need to have a piece of some hand cream. So that's the best way to keep your hands moist as you're making these petals. So as you could see, every one of these petals are handcrafted. They are each one different from the others. And that's the beauty about these kind of flowers, you guys. Gonna get, once again, I see that this one kind of, I want it to be a little bit lifted up. So I'm gonna get my little other piece of paper, crumble it up, and give me what I need. I'm gonna pinch, don't forget to pinch that middle center, that's the center right here. And that's gonna give me my curving. Just need you a little bit smaller. Now I'm going to be adding it. I'm gonna turn it around so you all can see. And make sure that it is curved. All right, let me get another one. And we almost did our count just right, you guys. Did our count just right for our petals. You can hear the storm? Yeah, it's really loud. I didn't know it was that loud. You guys can hear it, but it is, yeah, it's getting, and my poor husband, he should be coming home, so he's kind of driving in the middle of all this. Yesterday we had such a nice kind of like a you know, lay back kind of day for him, kind of like the kind of days he likes. I'll lay back. Where's my little bit of paper? Lay back. He was watching the Yankees lose against, I think it was the Boston Red Sox that were playing. And I feel bad for him because the Yankees are his team, my son's team. And I was kind of like rooting a little bit. I wouldn't say it, but I was kind of rooting for him that, you know, that they will win, just to kind of give him, this one is too big. I'm going to take a little bit less clay, and rooting for him that you know, his baseball team will win. Hi, Kyle you can hear the storms too. Wow. Yeah, the storms are pretty loud. So, so yeah, so I was kind of like rooting to see if the Yankees would win, but they didn't. So, like, sorry, hon. But I did. I cooked some yummy seafood dishes that he likes. All right, guys, and I think we have come to the very last of our petals here. I'm going to make my little last one here. So we have 2 rows of petals, one larger, one smaller. And now in the center, before I add my center, I'm going to once again mist it with my water. And I'm going to just make sure that everything in there has, I hope you guys can see this, that everything in here is kind of touching each other, kind of like making sure that the glue is really making contact, that we're pressing down. Okay. And I see some petals here that don't want to make contact, so I got to make sure that those are positioned correctly. Now remember what we made earlier, which was our center, and we're going to just put a hot glue there. And this had already a texture, so I'm not worried about having a texture, but now I'm going to just drop it in the center there. And you guys, it looks like a hot mess, and I know it does because it's drying. There's no other way around it. It needs to dry, and it needs to we need to keep the position of those papers in there. But I'm going to see if I lift it up a little bit so you guys can see the center. I'm going to show you here on Facebook, friends, first. Hi, Sissy. Oh, that was a loud one. Here's the center of my flower. You all, this has to dry. There's nothing else we could do about it. It needs to dry up. And we have about 7 minutes, but it needs to dry. I'm not going to add any paint to this yet. It just needs to dry. Because if I start messing with it, but the moisture that I add, whatever extra moisture that I add by painting it right now, it's gonna make my flower flat. So we're not going to add anything else to it. It's positioned right there in the center of this. So it's going to dry up right on there. Now remember, I don't have it glued to the glass just yet. And the reason why I did not glue it to the glass is because I'm trying to use, oh, thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Sissy, for sprinkling. I'm going to be using some E6000 because this is glass. I don't want to use some wood glue. So I'm going to use some E6000 to adhere it to the glass once it's dried. So right now, I just put it on there so that I could see in position and make it the size that I want. It needs to dry. Once it dries, we're going to remove very carefully all those little pieces of papers. They did their job. Thank you, Jackie. Can you paint it before gluing? I could paint, the only way that you could paint, thank you for that question. Thank you, Cheryl. The only way that you could paint it before gluing is by adding a little bit of glue to your clay. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you. I had a little piece of clay here that we didn't use. I just had it on my hands. Didn't I? Oh, here it is. So I'm going to put this on the side. So let's just say I have this little tiny bit of glue. I mean of dough, clay. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of my paint. Got my tongue tied here. My Spanish tongue is getting tied up. Ay caramba. All right, so now you add this and you start mixing it in. Your hands are going to get all dirty at first. And you're going to mix your paint into the clay. As your paint, the way that you know that the paint has fully been absorbed into the clay is because your hands will no longer, when you put it on there, you see how no longer is marking my fingers? See that? That has adhered. The paint has been absorbed by the clay. So that is the way that you're going to paint your clay prior to gluing it. So, because I am painting it not in a different subtle color, and my paint is very similar to the actual color, which is white. I'm going to, that's why I decided to paint it afterwards. Not only that, but I want to be able to create a little bit of shading and variations, so that way I could be able to have, I don't know, maybe perhaps the edges of my petals be a little lighter than the center of my petals. So that's the way I like to do it. It being that I could then be able to be more in control of the shadings that I give my flowers. So that's one. If not, then I will recommend introducing your paint when you are mixing your clay, at that point. Now, let me show you, if you guys did not, you all, if you guys have not seen the last time that I was live around here, you all have missed a big show. I had this all done, you all. I had this all done, and I'm showing you here the very last pieces, the very last steps of getting this riser done. And all I did was I was adding a little bit of the wax right on the top. Everything was turning out beautiful, and then all of a sudden I dropped it. You guys, my clay was not fully dried. I dropped this plump. It was live. You have to watch it. I think it's like at the on Facebook. It's the last time that I was live, and it's like you go all the way to like an hour 1 minute. So about the marking is an hour, and yeah, I dropped it. It was I didn't know what to do. Anyways, so if you go to the minute mark, to like an hour and a minute, and I think here on YouTube, I think it was minute 40, something like that, or 40 something. But if you go to the last live that I have here on my channel, and you will see me, it was the biggest blooper. I have to make a video of it because it's hilarious. I dropped it. It was not fully dried. Some of these things came off. Gosh, that's getting really loud. And some of these things came off. So now this time around, I made them out of resin. So I didn't want to take chances. I made them out of resin. I glued them. So now I just gotta finish painting them for this sweet little ricer. And yeah, it was. I didn't know what to do. Oh, thank you. So now I gotta paint it. I gotta paint it. So that's why I still have a little bit of blue here. I gotta paint it. I gotta finish it. But yeah, it was hilarious, you guys. It was hilarious. You have to go see it. It was just a good laugh. It's a good laugh. So I have it here actually, just so that it could remind me that I have to finish it. So anyways, in just a minute, I'm gonna let you go because our friend Deborah from Love Laugh Craft is going to be live and making something adorable. She is just incredible. All right, I wanted to say thank you so much for being here. Guess what? I'm not working tomorrow night, and so I'm going to be. I took the 9:15 or 9:15 spot Eastern time on Craft from the Clock. So I'm going to be live, Lord willing, tomorrow, right at more or less the same time. So Kyle, come on by tomorrow, and we'll do a little bit more crafting. All right? Can we do that? All right. We got a date. We got a date. We got a date. We got a date. All right. Don't forget, before you leave, give this a thumbs up, and thank you for your love. Thank you for all of your beautiful comments, and all of your support. May God bless you. May God keep you. Make His face shine upon you, and may God grant you His peace. And I'm so glad I'm indoors with all this storm. And let's just pray that my husband has a safe trip home. All right. Have a beautiful night, you guys. I love you all. Adios.